Be back in a sec. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I just wanted to bring you a quick video, an impromptu video from the college building in Bournemouth. As you can see, you can't see much. This is a whole load of scaffolding. I did a live stream on this very building a year or so ago. You can see it on my channel with Dave Trinity 4. And we were talking about old world buildings and noticing all the anomalies when comparing the buildings, and the dates were given with, you know, the populations of the regions at the time and the technologies that were allegedly available and everything else, and that it's basically an impossibility. This is one of those buildings. As you can see here, I'm stood on the ground, obviously. And I understand that you have to add things, and by that you automatically raise the level of the ground by building roads and things like that. But what you see is a lot of this staircases going up into a makeshift ground floor, basically. Not an original ground floor, because the building, as you can see, goes deep down in the ground, right? That's not really what I was here to show you, to describe to you the old world building, really. But it was more to do with the fact that they're actually doing something with this here in Bournemouth. So that's the tower on the top. This is Bournemouth College at Lansdowne. And if I take you around here, I'm actually quite excited about this, because one of my main gripes is that we let a lot of these old buildings just go into disrepute, into disrepair. Disrepair. We don't do anything with it. We patch them up, maybe at best, a bit like our roads, and that'll be that. I just spoke to a chap. I might be able to grab him again in a minute, and he told me that this whole thing, the refurbishment, because that's what they're doing, is going to take about 2 years. Look at what they're doing up there. They're going all the way to the top of that tower, the bell tower as well, he said. So this is quite a project that took a long time to be decided upon as well, he told me. So I'm just going to give you a rough idea of the scale of this. Yeah, and while I'm doing this with this video, and I haven't done it yet, I was going to do it, there are loads of roadworks throughout Bournemouth and around the outlying areas of Bournemouth as well. So there's obviously a lot of infrastructure being put into place. Well, there's the crane, obviously, as you can see. This is the back of the building here. You ain't going to be able to see too much because of this stuff over the fencing, but I might be able to get a sneak peek through here. So it's Bournemouth and Poole College. Yeah, you can't see too much because obviously they covered it all with plastic sheeting and stuff like that, because there'll be I imagine, a lot of sandblasting and whatnot. But and there's one of the, obviously, a crane there. It's going to be doing a lot of the heavy lifting. That's quite a reach, isn't it? But anyway, so, and on the other side of this building, there's a steel framework been put in place where they're constructing a brand new building that's part of this whole plot, if you like. It's going to become part of this whole complex. So as you can see here, just by sheer scaffolding, it's almost impossible to see the original structure. They've been now putting this scaffolding up for a couple of weeks. Now, I've done a bit of scaffolding work many years ago, and when you've got good men working on it, it's normally a job that doesn't take too long. Obviously it depends on the size of the building and everything else, but here they've put a lot of other stuff in place because it's obviously a more long-term project. Concrete blocks to put the scaffolding on and all that sort of stuff. Quite astounding, really. But I've got to say, if that's the sign of things to come in terms of refurbishing old buildings and bringing things up to a standard, then I'm definitely not complaining. As you can see on the other side of the road there, they're doing a similar thing with another building. A lot of these buildings that look modern because they have a flat roof aren't as modern as what people think, especially the ones that are red bricked. You know, they might have a facading on it that looks all very sort of brutalistic by architectural design or whatever, but in actual fact beneath that cladding they'll have a lot of brickwork, which is one of the anomalies because, you know, as you may or may not know, brick factories as we know them didn't exist before 1885 anywhere in the world. You know, you have to remember all this stuff, this technology, blah blah blah, allegedly was spawned in this country, in the UK, during the so-called Industrial Revolution. Right, here's the bit next to the college building, like I said to you, that's being added to that complex. So, according to this chap who sat there, I'm not going to hold the camera on him too much, I don't know how comfortable he feels about that. He was saying they've been deliberating about this for years, but he said they're now finally getting around to doing it. So I'm just going to ask him, so how long did you say this build is going to take? 2 years. And there's a lot of like preparation work in this, right? Because it's a long-term project, right? Are you okay to...
It's been already like 1 year.
Can I turn the camera on you? Yes, okay. So what's your name?
Ernie.
Sorry?
Ernie.
Ernie. All right, nice to meet you, Ernie. My name's Sven. Nice to meet you too. So go on, you were saying that so they've been deliberating for years to do this.
Well, it's been already, this project been already 1 year in progress. It's another 2 years at least.
It's been in progress already a year. And how long have they been putting scaffolding up? Because I noticed this only a couple of weeks ago. So
it's been maybe like 2 months, I think so, 3 months.
2-3 months, in fact. Wow, there's me saying 2 weeks. That's how quickly time's flying at the moment.
Yeah.
Is it just me or is time flying?
No, it's not time flying.
Time's flying, right? It's a thing that I'm talking to a lot of friends with about at the moment, and everybody's like saying, has somebody been fiddling with the time or something? I mean, everybody is feeling like the year has just flown by. It's already September.
It's gone.
What's happened? Father Christmas will be here already, you know, before you've even finished with the scaffolding.
I know.
It's madness. So you here the whole time?
Hopefully.
Yeah?
Hopefully.
Well, what I'll do is, I mean, I'll come around every now and then and I'll do some like progress videos, just sort of update progress reports sort of thing, because I find it fascinating. Because I was just saying to the viewers, like, it's about time that they did something with these buildings. There's lots of lovely buildings around in Bournemouth.
There's a lot of buildings which is like abandoned, where they could like refurbish them and they would be like nice buildings. Like this building, they've been like refurbishing as well. They've been cleaning, so hopefully they're gonna paint it as well, and it's gonna be looking like a new building, you know?
Royal London House, yeah. And you see behind that concrete, you can see brickwork. So you're going to be here the whole duration of this, and then do you know if there are any other plans for any other refurbishments? I've seen also across the road there they're refurbishing something.
Well, I know there's going to be some few more new builds. They're going to be building like second tallest building in the Bournemouth as well, somewhere around this area soon.
Yeah.
That is going to be like student accommodations again. So they have a lot of student accommodations around in town centre, you know.
Yeah, I know. Well, I live right near some, just near the art college area there, around the corner from the police station. There's a lot of students there, and they're building some buildings there.
Yeah, the same company was building the school,
right?
Livingston Academy, which is like next to the police station.
Right, right.
So I was working there as well.
You're working there as well, because there's an old building there as well, isn't there, on the side street that looks beautiful with a little tower on the top.
So it's part of the school.
That's part of the school.
Yes.
Wow, but that building is old.
It is.
That is old, you can tell. And the street is like really diagonal and steep. So again, it goes deep down in the ground.
I used to live actually on that street as well.
Did you? Yeah, I mean, I just live around the corner from there. And it's an interesting area because there's lots of old buildings there. Absolutely. Wow. So there we go. Well, what was I going to say? So 2 years for this, with others maybe to happen.
Well, there's going to be no delays, 2 years.
Right, without delays, 2 years. Okay, so that could mean anything. So it's minimum.
Minimum 2 years.
But there's
it can extend up to like 2.5 years, you know.
Yeah, right. Which we don't mind if we're working on it.
No.
Right. And there's loads of roadworks as well. There's a lot of building going on, right?
Correct. We just want our town to be beautiful, you know?
Well, yeah, if that's what the outcome is, I'm all for it.
Exactly.
Absolutely. Yeah. Okay then. Well, thank you for your time.
Thank you.
And I'll pop round again in the next few days or whatever, and then I'll see you around, you know. Next time I'll have a cigarette or a coffee or something. I'll get you a coffee. Do you drink coffee?
Cappuccino maybe.
Cappuccino, right. Next time I'll bring a cappuccino.
Thanks so much.
Ernie, take it easy, my friend. Thank you for your time. You too. Yeah, quite amazing. So, yeah, you heard him say, so this project has been in the running now for a year, and they've already taken 2 months to get to this stage with all this scaffolding. So, how would we use that analogy of wood for the trees, scaffolding for the metal? Well, there you go. So, because for me, this is one of the most impressive buildings I've seen in a long time. I've said it many times. It wouldn't look out of place in a place like Venice. It has that sort of clock tower. If you ever want to Google what it looks like in its original form, just go online and have a look for Bournemouth and Poole College, and then you'll see this building being depicted, and it's a beauty. It really is a gorgeous building. But, you know, on closer inspection, I'm not surprised they're refurbishing it, because you can see the erosion even from this camera angle here. God, I remember when I was going to school, they used to blame all that on what they called acid rain back in the day. They can't seem to make their mind up what it is that's damaging everything, can they? I mean, some of us kind of have an idea of what it could be. But that's another story. So there we go. I just thought I would bring that to you because I think that's very interesting. You know, there's a lot of those buildings, like I said, around. There's one over there on the other side of the roundabout. That used to have a dome on the top. But they took that off a while back. And behind these trees, there's also those type of buildings as well. And then if you go up Holdenhurst Road there, that main road where those red brick buildings are on the other side there, then you have the old fire station and all that sort of stuff, where you have again a lot of these very massive solidly built buildings with block facades and red brick all the way down deep into the ground, with all your typical kind of masonry on the front, with your, you know, your picture frame corners, as I like to call it, you know, the triangular shapes above the window ledges, and the you know, the depicting vortexes, if you like, whatever they stand for, and all that. So yeah, but there you go. I thought I'd bring that to you. So from a cloudy, not cold, it was colder earlier today than it is now, Bournemouth, and yeah, this soon to be reinstated into its former glory, Bournemouth and Poole College. I bid you all farewell. I hope you got into the week well. I hope you all had a good weekend, by the way, and everything has started serenely for you this week. Yeah, I will do exactly that. I'll pop round and see Ernie and do some update videos on this. This is going to be a fascinating project to follow, and to see what exactly they're going to do with it, because I mean, I've lived here now for 8 years now in the Bournemouth area, Boscombe and Bournemouth, and I've only ever known it to be kind of in a bit of a shabby state, but you can see, if you see beyond that, the beauty of it. It is an extraordinary building. All right, well, on that note, I shall say goodbye, and I will see you all soon, some of you much sooner. Until then, take it all easy, and ta-ta for now.